hope everybody is fine, and I'm going to have an argument here. This is not only an argument, this is the scientific reality, the quantum entanglement. I call it when the universe refuses to be separate. Everything is connected. You cannot describe the distances, but distances, you will see they don't matter at all. What if the distance is not the barrier we think it is? What if nature itself prefers connection? There's nothing like isolation existing in the nature. My name is Arfat Firdaus, and we are exploring quantum entanglement, maybe a phenomenon so precise in experiments, yet at the same point of time so deep in its implications that it forces us to rethink about reality itself. Now, why entanglement shocked physics? This is something I want to talk about. For centuries, physics was built on a simple assumption. What was the assumption? The assumption was that objects exist independently. A stone here does not instantaneously affect a stone here. Causes travel. They travel step by step through the space. But quantum entanglement shattered this kind of comfort. Like when two particles interact, they interact closely through some shared origin or some kind of interaction. Their properties become linked. Their properties are not copied. Their properties become linked, not communicated. Their properties are not communicated. They are linked. Now, when scientists measure one particle, the outcome of the other is fixed instantaneously. Now, this happens without any signal traveling from particle 1 to particle 2. There's no signal traveling between the two. That's what basically disturbed the great Albert Einstein, because classical physics demands locality. Locality means things affect nearby things first, and independence, objects carry their own properties independently. So entanglement violates both arguments. It tells us the universe sometimes refuses to describe things separately. Instead, it basically insists on describing the relationship first. Now, what entanglement is not? That's the first thing that we have to realize, we have to understand. And this point is extremely important for us because it might misguide us about the quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is often misunderstood. So let's try to clear the ground first. What's that? It is not faster than light kind of communication between the two particles, even if they are galaxies apart. It does not send messages or information. It does not allow the control over distant outcomes. These three are important arguments. You cannot choose the result of one particle to send a signal to another particle. The outcomes are correlated. There is quantum mechanical correlation between these two particles. So think of it like suppose I have two dices, okay, and these two dices are entangled. You roll one here, another very far away. Now you cannot choose the numbers, but once one is known, the other is immediately related. And perhaps nature preserves the causality. What entanglement changes is how the fabric of reality is structured, not how the information travels from the dice 1 to dice 2, because it's quite instantaneous. I talked about it in the beginning, that there's no electromagnetic kind of interaction. And if we try to go deep into the philosophical meaning of this entanglement, now we would like to go deep, because this is where physics quietly, I believe, becomes philosophy. Quantum entanglement suggests that separateness is not the fundamental fabric of the universe. What comes first is the whole. The parts are the secondary descriptions. This is deeply counterintuitive to the human mind, which is basically trained to divide the two, label them, and isolate them. This is the common intuition, but nature seems to communicate the different thing. The nature seems to tell us the different story. The whole is real first. WHOLE. The parts are basically the convenience. Entanglement implies that history matters, that once systemed, sure, the moment of unity, that unity leaves an imprint that does not fade, even if you are at the edges of the universe. The universe remembers its togetherness. This does not claim the meaning, like it basically invites the reflection. And to go more deeper into this idea, I mean, talking about entanglement and try to link it with the consciousness. And as long as physics is concerned, physics makes no claim. It doesn't make any claim that human consciousness is directly entangled like the particles that we had been talking about. Let's be honest. Let's be honest and maybe precise from this point of view. It doesn't say. However, entanglement offers a powerful analogy. Our experiences are not isolated events. We have thoughts. We influence each other. We have emotions. There's a mutual sharing of emotions. And emotions, what they do, they influence. These emotions influence us, and we go with the decisions. And decisions influence others. So we live inside network of influences, interactions, forces, invisible forces. And entanglement tells us something subtle, something something humble. Independence may be an approximation, not an absolute kind of thing. It's impossible to be absolutely independent of everything, just as particles cannot always be described alone. Once they interacted, perhaps the awareness cannot be fully understood in isolation either. Not as mysticism, not as belief, but as humility, a recognition that connections may be deeper than what they appear to us, what they feel to us. To go down the argument, a simple example I would like to quote here, and this example may certainly make some interest. Imagine two musicians playing together for years. We have two musicians, they play together for years. They stop playing, they separate. Yet, when one begins a melody, the other the other instinctively knows where it's going on. Nothing supernatural here. It is just a shared history shaping the present response. And quantum entanglement is nature's most extreme version of this idea that I was trying to describe, these two musicians. And nature is written into the fabric of reality in itself, that there is a connection even if you are apart from each other. So when we speak of quantum entanglement, we are not merely talking about the particles here. We're trying to extend it from particles. We're confronting a universe, basically, a universe that resists isolation, that prioritizes the relationships, the interdependence, that remembers the connections for hour and hour and hour. I am our Father thus, and quantum entanglement reminds us, it reminds us that the deepest structure of reality may not be objects floating in the space, but the connections that never fully break. So I hope you like this, and I